Welcome to another episode of the Piano Ninja Tricks podcast. Hi, I'm Lisa Spector, your piano ninja, here to make everything easier for you at the piano so that you feel like a piano ninja. We are approaching July 4th, a big holiday in the United States, and I have two big events I'd like to invite you to. It is time for my annual Red, White, and Rhapsody in Blue, which I am doing on YouTube Live on July 3rd. I'll drop the link below, and it's YouTube Live, and you can come watch live and also afterwards as well. And I'll be doing kind of my own arrangement of Rhapsody in Blue. I've played it with orchestra many times. It's the orchestra version with a little bit of the solo version is kind of my own hybrid version, but there's no orchestra. It's just me playing the fabulous, fun, beautiful Rhapsody in Blue, and I'll be sharing that with you on July 3rd in YouTube Live. Before that, if you have a dog, by the way, I'm sorry if I have not introduced my beloved girl here, Gina. She just turned 15. She's doing great. And she will be all dressed in her American flag for our Dog Gone Calm concert, which will also be on YouTube Live, and that is on Sunday night, June 30th. That's going to be at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. And the reason why is because you may not know this about me, but in my other world, I'm known as the pet calming maestro. I have been recording music for canine anxiety based on research that calms the canine nervous system for 20 years. And I'll be performing that music for you and your dogs to help them with the fireworks. And also, before we even start the music on that YouTube Live, I'll be sharing tips on helping your dog through his or her fear of fireworks. So that's coming up. Hope you enjoy that on YouTube Live. And this day is significant. It is Thursday, June 27th, 2024. 7 years ago, I described to the day. 7 years ago, I described as the simultaneously the worst and the best day of my life. At the time, it felt like the worst. I tripped over a curb while carrying a water bottle with what pianists call our fourth finger, what other people call your ring finger. I had it through a loop in a water bottle. I tripped in a curve. The water bottle did not release when I fell, and it literally crushed my hand. I felt like my finger had fallen off. It was so painful and so severe. I took an ambulance to the hospital and later found out that I had 7 complicated fractures, 6 in my fourth finger and 1 on the side, which was self-healing, but the 6 here were extremely complicated. It took 4 surgeries over 3 years to heal, and in the process of that, I was supposed to have 1 immediate surgery, but I ended up having 2 because while my hand was in the cast, I had a subluxation. My bone slipped. It was unbelievably painful and needed an emergency second surgery just to heal the bone. In the process of that, I was diagnosed with CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome, which is a somewhat rare neurological disease that generally when it happens, it occurs within middle-aged women when they've had trauma to their hand or their foot. And because of that diagnosis, on top of the 7 complicated fractures, I was told by a hand therapist that I would never play piano again. I proved her wrong because, first of all, I started playing for left hand only, and I did that for a few years. I still play music. If you've been listening to the podcast, I've shared music for left hand only, but my concerts are generally for 1 and 2 hands. Because I proved her wrong, I changed to a different hand therapist that I stayed with for 186 hand therapy sessions while I was in trauma therapy, and Feldenkrais was a huge lifesaver for me, and acupuncture was as well. And it took time, but that second hand therapist that I hired taught me the importance of remembering little by little, reward your progress, which is what I advise you to do on your piano studies as well. So I call it the worst day of my life while being simultaneously the best day of my life because there have been so many gifts. I believe I would not have created the Piano Ninja Tricks if I hadn't had that experience because the Piano Ninja Tricks helped me prove that that medical professional wrong when she told me I would never play piano again. I took these tricks from my Juilliard studies, from studying with some of the best teachers on the planet, but I also took them and simplified them and created a way that I really was teaching myself to play piano again. I could not reach an octave. I could not reach a four note major chord. I was struggling with certain four note minor chords. There's still a bit of a challenge, but I changed my concept of for 6 months I was in massive emotional pain because I kept asking, when am I going to get my hand back? When is this going to be over? And it took me 6 months to realize I was asking the wrong question because the gifts were in the new hand that I now have. Because I have been able to coach and help other injured musicians through their recovery. I've been able to create the Piano Ninja Tricks to make everything easier. So many things in my life changed that have been such an enormous blessing. I would have made it up. I never would have said, I never could have made it up that I would have had this just very bizarre fall. But I'm glad I did because it brought me to where I am today. It brought me to you. It brought me to helping you. And it brought me to a new concept, which if you've been hanging out with me for a while, you know that I believe something I did not learn at Juilliard. I learned the opposite of this at Juilliard. But this experience of this injury plus my maturity has taught me that to screw perfect, just make music. Music is in me. And if I had to wait for it to be perfect when I can't reach certain right hand chords, when I play wrong notes because of it, when I have to roll chords, when I have to leave notes out, if I did not believe screw perfect, just make music, I wouldn't be here making music and sharing it with you. That has become, it's like breath to me. It's life to me. It would be so painful if I weren't doing this. So thank you for allowing me to share this story with you, and I hope you use it as a sign of inspiration in whatever you're going through in your life. So what I thought I would do for the rest of this podcast today is, instead of playing something for you now, I am going to bring you to a recording. This was, I believe it was the first concert that I had for one and two hands, and it was back in 2019. And I am going to play a piece for you from this recording from 2019 that I call The Marriage Between My Hands, because I start out with playing the Godofsky arrangement for left hand only of the Chopin Aeolian Harp Etude, which is treacherously difficult by itself. But then I call it The Marriage Between My Hands because about a third of the way through the Aeolian Harp Etude of Godofsky arrangement of Chopin, I bring you into two hands of the original Chopin. And it was, I'll never forget, it was very monumental that it was kind of my proof of proving the medical professional wrong, and I can do this, and I did it, and I was playing with left hand and with both hands, hence the marriage between my hands. So enjoy this recording from 2019, and I hope to see you on one or both of my YouTube lives coming up soon. If you have a dog, join us on Sunday night, June 30th, and I will be playing very soothing, calming music for canine anxiety. But I tell you what, it's really for both ends of the leash, because I know if you have a sound phobic or a sound sensitive dog, you are personally also having a hard time with your anxiety, watching your dog going through that anxiety. So it is music designed to calm both ends of the leash. And then on July 3rd, that evening, I will be playing also on YouTube Live It's time for red, white, and Rhapsody in blue. So in the meantime, taking you back to 2019 to the marriage between my hands. Enjoy.